I'm Rajat Bhargava, JumpCloud CEO and co-founder. And, I'm delighted to have you both here to talk a little bit about the challenges around IT. And as we know, it's a pretty complex area these days with cloud transformation, identity transformation, security issues, all kinds of interesting new technologies coming out. So we're excited to spend a few minutes with you just learning a little bit about how you're using technology at Apna, how you're using JumpCloud, and then maybe what you think a little bit about the future of what's going to happen in our industry. So let's have a little fun with it. And no, I really appreciate you joining. And let's start with Naresh with you and tell us a little bit about you, how you made your way to Apna, and then we'll turn it over to Suresh.
Yeah, hi everyone. So I'm Naresh. I have done my MBA and Masters in IT. Previously worked with different companies like IBM, Wipro, KPMG, Times Group, and Genpact. Currently working with Apna as IT director and responsible for IT operation and project. I'm specialized in program and project management, IT infrastructure, data center operations, delivery, workplace technology. And my current interests are ensuring secure and productive hybrid workplace at all levels. Okay, let me brief you about Apna. Apna founded in 2019 and among the fastest growing unicorn in India. Apna is India's largest job and professional networking platform dedicated to helping India rising workforce to unlock the unique professional networking and skilling opportunities. I'll say we have over 30 million users present in 30 plus 70 plus cities and counting
Wow.
more, and 3.9 lakh plus employees that trust the platform. In fact, 10 million monthly job application and around 30 million peer-to-peer professional conversations that we are doing as of now, right? So India has a new destination to discover relevant opportunities, mission to enable livelihood for billions in India. So
Amazing, amazing. Suresh, you want to add a little bit on your background and how you made your way to Apna?
Sure, sure. Thanks, everyone. Hey, I'm Suresh, and I had platform engineering and infrastructure at Apna. Overall, 18 years of experience in the industry, worked like organization like Walmart, Target, EY, and Oracle, and in Informatica for a short while. And it's a very interesting story, how I, Rajat, you asked about how I made my way to Apna, right? I was working at Target, and most of my career has been in, enterprise space and, working for MNCs and, and there was a desire that, okay, hey, I wanted to work for a startup. I wanted to work for, solve some problem for India. And this opportunity came in and I just left it up, right? So very exciting. As Naresh mentioned about Apna, Apna is a mission oriented company, right? It's not just an organization to make profit, right? We are here to solve a problem which has been plaguing, our country for years, right? Since independence, even before that, right? And it's just not in India, right? I think, we have, addressable market which span all the four or five continents, right? And I believe, we can make a difference. So that's what got me at Apna, and I think that what's keep me energized, when I wake up every day, to get onto my work and help people, get opportunities for networking, skilling, and jobs.
I think that's so important. Upna is a mission-driven company, and one of the things I talk to our Jump Cloudians, our team, about is that we're making a difference in helping companies like Upna basically follow their mission, follow their heart, and I think that's something that's super powerful for any company, is to have that sort of real impact on the world, and you can see that impact. So I think what you're doing at Upna is amazing. How are you using technology, and how are you using, all the innovation that's going on these days to help Upna succeed in its mission and accomplish its mission of, powering the global economy?
So I would say, we are very new, right? We are just like 3.5 years old, right? And as Naresh mentioned, when we become unicorn in less than 2 years, we were the fastest unicorn in India. And we are very tech focused company, I still remember, when I was speaking to my founder, and we were talking about me getting into Apna, that, hey, this is not an operation company. This is not a tech enabled operation company. Apna is a tech company, right? So we are cloud native, we are digital native, we solve each problem through tech, right? Obviously, 0 to 1 is a very different journey from 1 to 10, right? Like, you know Rajat, you as a founder, you will know people say that, hey, founder should do things which do not scale, right, initially, right? So that you get into the heart of the problem. So while we start with that, but I think, we are very clearly focused. So we use cloud, we our for our users, it's just an Android app, right? So being a digital native, cloud native, we leverage technology to a hilt. Everywhere is technology. Even for people in operations and other areas, we have even low code, no code tools where they can actually go and build their own solution without depending upon engineering team, right? So and any latest innovation, right? I think, cloud is the place where, most of the things, new things come, right? And the pace of innovation is crazy, and sometimes it can be little bit, as I call it, disorienting. So while I would say we are very adept at testing and, kind of putting new tech in production, but we are also very clear that, hey, is business what matters, right? It's technology is just an enabler, right? So what business problem does it solve, right? So and mostly it's from the point of view that, okay, hey, if we have to do something, and do we have a tech which is like, tested legacy, or even like, for years there, right? Or if not, there is something new on the horizon, which can we try out and then, make it work for us. So that way, I think, tech is the way we solve all the business problem for us. But ultimately, it's more about solving those business problem rather than just being tech focused.
So Naresh, maybe I'll turn it to you. How was JumpCloud connected to that? What business problem was JumpCloud solving for you? And what was the connection to your vision and the impact of your mission for, choosing JumpCloud?
So basically for us, when we start looking for the application which can resolve our problem to manage the user daily operations issue. So what we found in a jump cloud, that's a single platform which is helping us to manage both Windows as well as the Mac systems, right? And it give us a single console through which we can able to manage that. Otherwise we have to look for the different, like there is different platform for the Windows and different platform for the Mac. But in our case of scenario, when we have the tech-based organization, we don't want multiple application to manage the different system, and it giving us the complete visibility what's happening in the operation, background and operation users, either is that engineer team or some other sales and operations teams. So this is something which is really good, I can say.
Awesome. So
Maybe
maybe go
sorry
ahead, Suresh. Please.
if I
No,
can.
jump in, jump in.
So I think one aspect, and I think Naresh captured it pretty well, our decision, our thought process behind choosing JumpCloud. But one key aspect was the cognitive load on the team, right? We are a lean team, right? In our IT team is quite lean team, right? So, JumpCloud makes it super easy, reduce that cognitive load, on the team members, right? And obviously, we were looking to future, right? When we started, COVID hit and we were fully remote, right? And now we are more or less in a hybrid mode. So, how do we kind of be ready, be prepared for, if we move to hybrid mode. So JumpCloud having its own directory server and all those things, I think a lot of features, feature power packed into a single product, and which can help us, if, going forward, how do we deal with the uncertainty, how the future workplace will evolve. I think that was also one of the reasons.
Exactly.
And so if
And
you think about oh, go ahead, Naresh, please. Sorry.
okay, the one more feature that I want to talk about, it's the remote assistance, right? So at that moment, we don't supposed to call each and everyone, and there is some other free tools through which we can able to take a remote. So JumpCloud itself having a remote assistant, so we can solve the problem very easily by just taking a remote on the go, and that's
So
secure too.
and that's sort of where I was going to go next is, if you think about what's the ideal IT platform, and if you could wave a magic wand, what would be that next, set of capabilities that would help you and the team continue to scale, build a hybrid business as you're building it today, and have that automation and impact? What are some of those things that would build that foundation for you moving forward?
Also, very good question, Rajat. So, in today's kind of dynamic scenario, right, dynamic world that we have, the most important aspect is the time. How to save time. So, I really say that we should be look for the self-healing technique, right, where we should not go behind the users when they raise a issue. We should be aware of what's going on, what problem can occur in that system, right? We should be take a premises to solve that, which really improve the production time as well as the time for business too.
So Naresh, you might be talking a little bit about AI now, or
Obviously,
making it
everywhere we are talking about the AI, chat GPT kind
exactly,
of things nowadays.
exactly.
So
Yeah. Well,
I think, but I
let's
think Suresh can add on some more things too.
yeah, please go ahead, Suresh.
No, I think very well agree with Naresh, and we do see it from a few different lenses, right? That again, in a startup, most of the time, teams, as I said, teams are lean, right? And a lot of things to do, right? So how do we help improve productivity of not only, the, IT team members, but, other employees, right? So having an issue, right, even hardware to software, to driver or what not kind of issues which we have, right? Can we detect them earlier, right? Can we have, and like you spoke about AI, right? So chat GPT, can tell me based upon error logs or something, right? Okay,
Yeah.
hey, this might be the possible solution, right? Again, it can be anything, right? Figuring out, if there's something is going to go wrong, okay, and alert the teams, or take action, right? As Naresh mentioned, system should heal themselves. I think we are seeing that in cloud. A lot, hyperscalers are investing a lot in that tech, AI ops, and then in self-healing. When disk drives are going to fail, replace them immediately before they fail, all those things. I think we need to bring that into desktop and individual devices area also, so that can be a game changer.
I agree. So let's end on a fun note. And last question for me is, what do you think is going to happen 10 years from now? So maybe Naresh, I'll let you go first, and we'll end with Suresh. But what in your mind 10 years from now? What does this industry look like? What is IT technology? What are the changes?
So Rajat, I'll say that question is always difficult for me because I never see the future for 10 years. But I can say within the coming 2 to 3 years, as we already talked about the artificial intelligence, and we already entered into the fine-tuned language like ChatGPT, right? So I think we should be able to, if we'll talk about the Apna, we can be able to solve the problem of matchmaking, right? Since this is not truly solved by any of the platform as of now. So still people, whenever there is a requirement, they look for number of the candidates. So I think when we able to solve this relevancy problem of matchmaking will be at the higher end.
Yeah. Suresh, what are your thoughts 10 years from now?
So I think crystal gauging is not my forte, right?
It's hard for all of us. It's a hard thing to do.
True. And to be honest, given what has happened, in macroeconomics environments in last, I would say 1.5 year, a lot of things were proven wrong, right? So, but we always love to talk about future, right? And we all have a vision of future, right? So specifically in the IT space, I think we already discussed that. What do we want, right? I think the key focus will remain is productivity. So how do we improve productivity of a team member? We already see that a lot of advancement going on where okay, how do I get resources allocated to the most important critical task, right? So for a dev, right, say, and that is my when I started working, and first I started using laptops and started coding on them, Pentium 3, I remember. I'm running multiple things, right? And if something takes away, I'm compiling code on C or Java later on, and now Go, right? if something takes away CPU cycles from there, right, how do I prioritize that, right? So those kind of things, starting from that to actually, what we are seeing with generative AI nowadays, right? And I know a lot of people speak about that it's going to take a lot of job. I think we had the same thing discussed about automation 10 years back, low code, no code tools, in 5 years back, right? But I think the combination of both human and capability, and I think that's where it's not like anybody can go and use generative AI to their power, max power, right? You still need to understand a lot of prompts. Basically, I realized yesterday, I learned it's becoming an engineering field itself, prompt engineering. How do you create the prompts, right? So those kind of things. So collaboration between human and AI to achieve our maximum potential, I think that's gonna become mainstream. And very eagerly waiting for Google's Bard. And I think
Yeah.
competition will be good. But coming back to Apna very specifically, I think we have made significant advances in how are we solving the problem, and Naresh spoke about relevancy, right? So the same problem, how can we keep on improving that relevancy? And ultimately, in 5 years, we would like to see that making hiring super easy and getting a job which is fulfilling and satisfying for you, super easy for all the candidates. In next 5 years, we want to see that. And yes, growing Apna, and helping people across the world to take advantage of Apna, and bringing economic prosperity for everyone. So that's our vision of future. That's our maybe a wish list, but yeah, that's how we see.
No, I couldn't agree more. I think, one of the things I'm excited for you and Upna really is about that global opportunity. And, when you think about the chance to make one global economy, which I think, is starting to kind of happen, where, COVID really accelerated this viewpoint of we can be anywhere in the world and we can all work together. We can work, wherever our company is quote unquote headquartered. It doesn't really matter anymore. And I think the secondary effects for that might be really interesting, because, when there's economic transactions going across countries and borders and things like that, it seems like the cooperation goes up, and maybe sort of the animosity between countries, or kind of the friction that exists. You hope that some of the economic prosperity and work will sort of lead to hopefully a little bit of a safer, better world as well. And maybe that happens in the next 10 years, because it becomes much more of a holistic global economy, and we all rely on each other economically for us to be all successful. And maybe that translates into maybe having a safer, more cooperative world too.
Absolutely. And I think JumpCloud is also helping that you can work from anywhere, and for people like Naresh and me, it gives peace of mind that hey, wherever our employees are, they are secure, their systems are secure, data is secure, and they are productive. So and you rightly said, Rajat, the more we interact, I think across borders, across continents, I think more we understand each other, and that brings that togetherness in picture. So
Yeah.
looking forward to it.
Awesome. Well, thank you both for joining. I really appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
It was
Thank
a
you,
pleasure
Rajat.
talking to you. Bye-bye.